hoo is. That's what you said, right? No?
Hoo.
You? Are you not?
Tube.
Hoo. That's all I hear.
Where is this thing on YouTube?
I like my version better.
There we go.
We should be live. Sorry, I'm going to zoom in a little bit to plug in. This does seem to work, but I've got to angle this down just
All
a
right,
tad.
got to angle it down a little. Sorry, we don't have a permanent setup because we're not professionals.
we are professionals at irritating people.
Yes, and professionals at doing other things, but streaming. Yes, please. We've got to have
top of the coffee to you.
Yes, good morning, goeiemorgen.
Good morning.
We have to make some coffee so we can get ready for the day.
You don't want me to talk to anybody before this hits the mouth?
Yes, no, because otherwise you talk nonsense. Yeah, all I get is complaints. If it's not caffeinated, it complains bitterly. It's like a wheel without some grease. So
you guys see how nice I am? That's not true.
I'm criticizing the product.
It's a perfect product.
So good morning, goeiemorgen. We have been making a variety of products over the years.
That's some time.
Yes, and it's a whole kind of plethora of different products that we make, from meats to like pastry pies to sausage to like we do all kinds of things. And it's been very interesting. The some of the feedback, quote unquote, we've received on our products. So we thought this morning, because we pushed. I don't want to. It's not really new products, but we've pushed 2 of our products this week a little bit, and then it's interesting to see the feedback we get on products. Now, it's. I
think you're jumping the gun a little bit.
Why?
Because we had people waiting and you haven't greeted them.
Oh, I have not. Well, I didn't know because I couldn't see on the screen. So let me greet people and then we start again.
Yes. Firstly, sorry, Salty Grower. If you are still in after your raid, thank you, sir, for raiding us.
Thank you for raiding.
Glad to have some extra
I saw Marcus
faces.
pop in just before we went live and he said howdy.
Yes, Marcus is in.
I am sorry you are still not on X. Man, I have no words.
You bad boy, you.
Yes. Who did you tell Elon to go do like nasty things to himself?
We've also got AS Cult Gaming. Hello.
Good morning. Yeah, your salt should be like.
It says Wednesday. Good night.
How far are you? It's like they gotta send like the King's Cavalry or something to take it to you.
Something like that. Lemon, good morning to you as well. And Jody, I did see Jody, but the comment has gone and disappeared.
Yes, I saw Jody, and I think he's on his way somewhere. So
for Jody, please remember, everybody, hit that plusy button, repost, share, all of those awesome things. Follow. He would always encourage that. So in Jody's stead.
Yes.
All right, now you may continue on.
All right, so we've made a wide variety of products, and it would actually have been cool if Jody was here because Jody is also in the kind of food game. So we make primarily biltong, and we make a couple of variants of that. And it's interesting the feedback we get from people. Now, there's a difference between feedback / criticism and sales.
Which is why we chose the title. We chose.
Yes, because when I see, like, I can see when I make a change to a product if the sales go up or down, and it normally takes a little bit. So I'll make a change, and it's got you got to be real careful. Once you've got a product that's kind of established, if you make a small change, you've got to be real careful because you don't want to go completely out of whack. And then you've got to see, does the product sales trend up or down after your change? You've got to give it some time. You can't make a change this week and then make a change next week unless your sales cycle is real fast.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to give it a couple of weeks at least. Like with us, it's normally like a 3 month. So we got to keep an eye on it for 3 months. So I'll make a small change. Let's say I get feedback, for example, and I'll delve a little bit more into the actual criticizing of the products itself. But let's say I get some feedback from a few people, and they're like, man, you know, I like it a little less salty. And I'm like, all right, so I've got a spice formula, all right, and I make this up, and so just to, you know, commercial is obviously a little different than home cooking, or home brewing, or home, you know, whatever you do at home.
Production.
But let's say I take a formula. How's that, Nat? Yeah, thank you. I got you. Bye bye. So let's say I take a formula, and I take, let's say, 20 pounds of salt, and I take 20 pounds of pepper, and I take 10 pounds of paprika. Let's say that's my formula. All right. So that's 50 pounds. And then what I do is I mix that all up. All right. And then I take from that 50 pounds, I take 5 pounds. What?
Marcus said that my trials are from a bad actor on X. Another friend got hit also. Phoenix Ammo.
The what?
Phoenix Ammo.
Yes, what is from what? I don't know what you're talking about.
Marcus, my trials are from a bad actor on X.
Oh.
Another friend got hit also. Name is Phoenix Ammo.
So someone's reporting you.
That must be.
Yes.
That must be. And David's dog's paw is inside.
Oh, good morning, David. Okay. Huh.
Sorry, that's hence my.
Yes. Huh. Okay, yes, but there's always some jackass that's running around, you know, criticizing the product. You know, that has to. It's like, can you not just fucking leave me alone? You know, it's like
there's a lot of people that cannot.
No, they have to like fucking poke at the wound, you know. But sorry, I had my train of thought and you just interrupted me.
I breathed.
Yes. So 50 pounds of spice mix. So let's say, like I said, 20 pounds of salt, just as an example, 20 pounds of pepper, 10 pounds of paprika, for example. So now you've got a 50-pound batch. And let's say you use of that batch 5 pounds, okay, per 100 pounds of product. So whatever your product is, you use this mix of yours, and 5 pounds of the mix, all right, goes into 100 pounds. So it's 5% product ratio to spice ratio. Now someone says, okay, I think it's too salty or too peppery. So you still want to make your 50-pound batch. So what you've got to do is you've got to say, all right, so let me up or down the salt, wherever the complaint was, and I've got to down the other side, and I've got to balance the, you know, so you've got to balance all your spices back
the remaining
to their ratios to get your 50-pound mix again. And then once you've got that sorted out, you take your 5 pounds again, you go 5 pounds in. And then you got to wait till they buy it, till they try it, and you got to wait till a few people give you feedback. And now you got to watch everybody else, because, you know, now the 3 people that complained it's too salty or not salty enough has, you know, you've taken their complaint and you're like, well, you know, yeah, I thought maybe I could have upped or downed it or whatever, it's, you know, but you try and stay, you know, when you cater for like everybody, you have to be very neutral on the palate.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot go over or under too much, because, you know, for some people it's too much, for others it's too little. So you've got to try and be very neutral. It's got to satisfy. And I've had a lot of people that come in and say, oh, you know, my biltong is way better than yours. And I'm like, yes, for you. And then they don't understand. And I'm like, no, you are one person. Mm-hmm. I've got thousands of people that buy my product, and they all disagree with you. You have one person that consumes yours, which is you. So yours is better for you. Mm-hmm. Mine is better for everyone else. We are not talking apples with apples here. We are not comparing the same things.
It's kind of like there's on that note, there are people who like to make salt only cured biltong.
Yes.
That is something that you have to do very carefully, because it doesn't always cure the same. Or is it safe to ship because literally all they use is salt. They don't even use marinade, correct?
Yes,
no marinade.
no
So
marinade.
this is a very individual, specific item, and that's normally the person who will say that mine's better. It's like, I'm glad you're doing that. That's awesome.
Yes.
Here's some Celtic salt.
Yes, take some Celtic salt.
Try that.
And you can. So there are, seeing that we're on that subject, there are many ways to do like cure meat. One of the ways you can do it is you can lay it on salt. Okay, so Celtic salt, Celtic salt will work very well for that.
Yes.
Okay, but you cannot guarantee the absorption rate when you lay it on salt, no matter what time it is, because it depends on the water content of the meat and how much it will absorb and things. So it's okay if you do that at home for yourself or real small specialty batches, but it's not practically expandable commercially, unless you're going to have some real big scientific, like you're going to have to test stuff.
You'll like Lemon's question. Could you not just have a custom blend for low salt option and not change original, but make an additional for the low salt freaks? They are like 3.
Yes. Well, the other problem is so we've got a Angus and an Angus peri peri. Then we've got a Wagyu and a Wagyu peri peri. Then we've got a bison. Okay. And then so let's take the Angus. So the Angus, we got moist, normal, dry.
Yeah.
And then we got a fatty. So you got a moist, fatty, normal, fatty. The hardest one is the dry fatty.
Which is why we actually took off the dry.
Yeah, which we took off the dry, because so just in that one product, you got like 8 variances.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Where's our bags? Where do I put our bags?
The loose ones, like the not used. Okay.
Yes. And then we also got it in a slab. So you got it sliced, you got a slab, you got a chunk. Really? Now we're in and out again.
Here's the Angus peri peri.
Yes.
Close enough.
Okay, that's close enough. That'll work. So we've got a dry, moist, fatty, lean chunks and thinly sliced. Okay, which people can pick. And then you got a slab, and we have just in flavor types. We got Angus peri peri, Wagyu peri peri, bison. Okay, so that's 5 flavors. Then we got a dried sausage with a South African spice, which is trash. And then we got a peri peri dried sausage, and we got a cabanossi. So now if we start with a low salt, to produce this stuff is impossible. What is going on now?
I don't know.
Why don't you grab him and go see them and ask them to...
And just remember, too, our biltong is low salt. So
yes.
I have to actually chuckle when I hear that response.
Yes, people ask for low sodium. So our sodium is, our sodium is 3% of daily value per serving. And then people say, well, do you have a lower sodium? It's like, if you go look at competing brands, they are 10 times the sodium we have. Ooh, that's close. I actually had a customer of ours contact us, and he was on an airport. So ours is obviously not available at airports because it's not FDA inspected, because it's a better product. If you inspect by the FDA, then you have to change how you make it, and it generally increases safety, drops quality. So it'll be shelf stable, and you can eat it, and you'll never die, except of cancer from the carcinogenics that they got in there. But it's FDA approved, so you're good. But the sodium, most of it is sodium, is how they do it. And the sodium, he actually said, like our daily value is 3%, and these guys are at 34%. So we are already low sodium, but you can't do a no sodium. Like, that's not a thing. Now, something that I read, and this is what people do, and then people that do not understand food. So if you put potassium chloride in the food, then you can lower your salt and it will still taste salty. But then you're putting potassium chloride in your food.
Isn't that chlorine or something?
No, it's just, now you're putting chemicals, like produced chemicals in the food, so it's like, no. So that's the tricks they use, you see. So it's like when you take the sugar out, but you put the, what's that shit? aspartame in the drink. So that's still sweet, but you're just putting a different chemical in there.
Sweet with an aftertaste
Yes,
that does not
the
go
aspartame
away.
tastes shit.
That was horrible. Good morning, SS Grant. And dude, appreciative of all of the shares. Thank you so much for that.
Yes,
and then
good morning.
Cam as well. Good morning to
Cam.
you. I'm trying the coffee right now.
Good. Let us know what you think.
Yes.
We are drinking it.
It's in my mug.
Yes, it's in my mug, about to be in my belly.
Marcus does mention sodium nitrate. There are so many
sodium
Marcus.
nitrate. There's lots of it, you know. So we try and use natural products as far as possible, and that's why I wanted to, because man, we've had some criticisms where people this week specifically, where people were like yelling at us. I'm like, dude, you really don't have to buy it.
Do you want me to go get the products? Do you
want
you
to
can put them on display and
you
share
can.
what it was?
So.
Bitch Mobile, yeah.
Good morning. So there's almost a regulatory body in South Africa, because we can't stop murder, but we have to regulate how our traditional sausage is made.
But genocide's okay.
Yes, exactly. We don't.
What?
So this was the one product that we had a real big. We got 25,000 or something views on this. But Nicole just put a picture out, and then the next moment
I took a picture.
Fucking Facebook algorithm suddenly worked, and they forgot to block us, because normally they just block us. We get no traction because we don't think there's 75 million genders and everybody's stupid. But anyway,
or 6 in Texas.
Yes, wow. 6 Flags. So this is the what's the name? But I think this was the old label. Well, this is the new one.
That's the new one.
All right.
The picture I did take was unfortunately an older label, which kind of made me laugh.
Yes. But so traditionally, and maybe put this in the freezer.
Okay.
But so
do you
traditionally,
want me to kind of get it up close so they can see it?
You can. Okay. So traditionally, how the sausage is made is you got beef, pork, a beef pork mixture, and it should traditionally be more beef, a little bit of pork. The pork's more there for the fat. And then what we use in South Africa, which is very readily available, is called lamb tails. And then it's a salt, coriander, pepper, like spice mix. And you're supposed to use a binder that contains a starch, like maize or flour starch, like a starch cereal type binder. But there's a lot of people that are like, I don't eat starches. All right. Nicole doesn't, we don't eat starches. There's a lot of people that don't want or has some issue with starch. Mm-hmm. So, if you use like flour, it's kind of, anybody that's gluten intolerant or has celiac has problems. Mm-hmm. And then there are a lot of people that choose. So people who don't eat starches will eat something without or people who don't eat starches won't eat stuff with starches. Mm-hmm. People who eat starches will eat products that don't contain starches, yes, because they don't mind. So and then if we don't have pork in our boerewors, okay, mm-hmm, because we have customers that don't want pork, mm-hmm, and that's fine. So we use the same mix in a lamb casing, which is a thinner one. You want to get one? I can go get one. So we have a one in a hog casing, which is the thicker one, and we have one in a lamb casing, which is the thinner one, and that way we don't have to mix. We have one mix.
I'm going to cut them off for just a second so you guys can see. You'll see specifically boerewors in lamb. So
yes, but let me give you this guy, and then you can just show, because they might not know the difference. You'll see the difference of the casing thickness.
Look at the size difference there, the depth.
It's just, so the one's a hog casing.
Mini, my thick boy.
Yes, so one's a hog casing and one's a lamb casing, and we got some Jewish customers that that don't want the pork, so we've got the beef. So of course the first criticism we get is there has to be pork in the boerewors, and that is not a requirement according to the regulations.
No,
right? No pork. But lamb tails, which is normally used for the fat, is not available in the US. You can't get lamb tails because lamb is not a big thing here. So lamb tails are almost pure fat.
the lamb that you find here, most of it is not inspected at smaller farmers because people
Well,
do
yeah,
not mass produce lamb for
lamb, like
retail.
yes. So in South Africa, so firstly, there's no inspections, and secondly, we are really big like lamb, mutton eating.
Yeah.
Now I did go look at some of the history in the U.S. and sheep was big, yeah. I think till World War One or 2, and then it's too expensive to rear sheep, and it was cheaper to rear hogs.
Size-wise, yeah.
Yes, so just pork became the like main protein, other than beef, just because of cost.
Okay.
It was a cost thing.
Okay.
So in South Africa, we just didn't do that. But there was America was very big in the involved in, I think it was World War II, but America was very much involved with that. So a lot of industry got geared around the war. I think there were like wage limitations. There were all kinds of things that happened in the US, and one of the things that happened was sheep kind of got frowned upon because of the cost of raising them, and hog became the kind of go for the bacon.
And hogs are easy; they eat anything.
Yes,
They
exactly.
live anywhere.
So that's where that came from,
wonderful.
according to what I've researched. But did you want to say hi? Odds,
yes, I'm sorry. I've got a lot of people chit chatting. Cam firstly gifted a subscription, so SS Grunt, loving the red rash on you, good sir. We've also got Lemon mentioning Cam's on a coffee high, obviously.
It's good
right? Coffee. And is called gaming on the way to throw hay. All right, good guy. See you later. Fun fact from Marcus: sodium and potassium nitrates are found in midden piles. They are natural. What is midden? MIDDEN. I don't know what that is.
Well, you also get them in like celery and beet have high concentrations.
Yes.
So they're natural. Vegetables, in fact, actually have higher levels than. But the problem is the ones that they manufacture, or the ones that you normally get, like your prog powder and that, that's a manufactured chemical. Like a lot of people don't know that, but those things, like most of your salts are manufactured nowadays. Like you go buy kosher salt, it's a manufactured product. Crystal salt, crystal diamond salt, which we used to use, it's a manufactured product, and it's used a lot by chefs, especially in restaurants, as a finishing salt because of its uniform shape. So a lot of things that we didn't know, that that I kind of researched over time. That's why I use the Celtic, because it is a naturally occurring sea salt.
Yes. I'm waiting for my Canadian to pop in and say, hey. Sensei is in. Eat them both. I agree. All the sausage is good sausage in this place.
Yes.
AS Cult Gaming. Sorry. By the way, I didn't expect you to send 2 pounds of Celtic salt. I'm gonna have to buy a container for it. Enjoy.
Was it 2? No, it's 1.5.
It was 2.
Oh yeah. It's our last kind of. It is in a container, by the way. That's the last one in a container.
You're good. All good. Yes. It was quote unquote our last one packed that way.
The others are in packs, in like bags. It's the bottles are too expensive. But you can buy yourself a spice grinder.
Yes.
If you want to grind, because it's coarse salt.
SS Grant does say, it's sad we can't have pigs where I'm at. I wish I would have known that before moving here. Yeah, that's sad. But that's pretty common. In the municipalities, they have really restricted any animals or livestock, sorry, is probably the best way to put it, which is an absolute shame. So I'm from, obviously, Texas, not far from where we live now, which is livestock central. I mean, there's nothing but animals on properties. I never saw anything other than cats and dogs where I was from. Yes. And that was all I understood as animals.
Until the Somalis move in.
Then there's none. All right, back to our topic.
Well, I got a customer real upset at one point because I made a joke. Me and her husband and I were joking, just talking.
He's got a good sense of humor.
Yeah, he's got a good sense of humor. Not so much. But anyway, so I mentioned that, you don't hear dogs bark around Chinese restaurants. And she got very upset with me. And I said, it's just a joke, man. I mean, it's funny because it's true. She was not happy. Anyway, so, there are there are a lot of traditional products on the market, of course, and if you try, to modernize them a little bit, because of the starches and things like that. Like, I mean, we found some really clean sausage, but it still has potato starch in it, which is another binder you can use as a potato starch binder. So to try and clean these things up, and change them a little bit. Man, do people get offended? Whoo!
Do you want me to pull up the other one?
Whoo! We'll do that in a second. So with our sausage, with the South African like boerewors, so there's a regulation that says, and it tells you what the main thing with the South African boerewors is it's got to be 90% meat and no more than 30% fat.
Yeah.
So we add 30% fat, and we have 90.5% meat in ours. So we are good. Then the other thing it states is it has to have a corn flour or wheat flour binder. Okay, which we don't use. So we got into an argument. Oh, sorry, I want to sneeze. Oh, we got into an argument with someone about it not being real boerewors, and I'm like, dude, like everything is exactly the same. So he says, well, if you make champagne, or if you sell champagne, and now you're gonna make sparkling wine in the US, because the people in South Africa get very offended with people in the US, like making stuff and calling it, anyway. So he said, if you go make sparkling wine in the US and you sell it as champagne, now there's a few problems here, and it's very hard to try and do the Facebook keyboard warrior argument,
right?
Because there's so much like context that you can't add. Champagne can only come from Champagne in France. Like, it has to be made there. You cannot make champagne anywhere else in the world but in France. If it doesn't come out of Champagne in France, it is not champagne.
Yes.
Okay. Everything else in the rest of the world is sparkling wine. Now, that is not the case with a lot of other things. And South Africa, I think, tried that. They tried to...
With the boerewors?
Not with the boerewors, with the biltong.
With the biltong, yes.
They tried it, and they couldn't do it because they can't prove that the biltong is only South African derived. It's Southern African.
Kalahari Desert, all the neighboring countries.
So,
it's quite a large
So the thing
area.
is, yes. Well, the thing is, you get the Bushmen in the Kalahari, and you also get the Bushmen that were on the plains in it's up Botswana way, who did similar things.
But that's the thing. So go ahead and mention all of the neighboring countries. We've got Botswana, Namibia,
Zimbabwe, which was Rhodesia, Zimbabwe. Zambia is a little further north. Mozambique, not so much. Mozambique was a little bit of a different culture. But you've basically got South Africa sitting at the bottom.
At least 4.
And then you got Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, and then you got Mozambique this side. And then above them, you have Malawi, Tanzania sits here. And then Malawi and Zambia sits, I think, just north. So Malawi sits between, I think, Tanzania and Zambia, and Zambia is north of Zimbabwe.
Yes.
So, so that's, and I think Malawi is landlocked.
And to give you guys a idea, South Africa is about the size of Texas.
Yeah.
So it's a good, massive land.
Yes.
This is a very good size piece of land.
Yes, it's actually, I think it's a little bigger than Texas.
Yes,
land-wise.
Land-wise. And then we're talking above them. So we're talking the entire South right now.
Yes.
Like, it's a lot of
area, you know? And they are, so South Africa could never do that with biltong.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like France did with champagne. And I think there's certain things from Italy, certain meats that Italy has done it with. I remember when I was doing the research, some other stuff popped up. But anyway, so it's not technically boerewors because I don't put what we call pap, which is like cornmeal.
But I don't
in it,
think there's some ingredients that have even made its way to South Africa.
No, exactly. So we have access to ingredients in the US that's not even known in South Africa. Like, people don't even know what the stuff is.
Yeah.
One of those things is like acerola cherry powder.
Mhm.
Like that's not a thing.
Mm-mm.
Like I don't think people in South Africa even know these things, and if you can get it, it is phenomenally expensive. So these are not things that are used in like beetroot powder might be a thing because like
I wanted to ask you that one.
might be a
Okay.
thing, but the other stuff, you know, because it is hard to produce stuff like that, so they have to import it. Where in the US, you'll probably find that it's made here.
Yeah.
And some of the other sausages we have from some of our suppliers, they will have some of the cleaner products in them, you know. And potato starch is fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Potato is great. Biggest thing with potato is that takes out the whole folic acid question.
Yes.
So that's a lot of the people here in the
folic
States.
acid and celiacs.
Yes, but the flour, if it's not a celiac problem, it's a folic acid problem, which is added to the local flours here in the States, unless you get raw wheat, which the odds of that in manufactured items is slim to none because it's expensive.
Very expensive.
Yes, and it's organic and hard to come by. I do have to mention one comment to you, if I may. So Marcus does say, King of Biltong, honey, I can't come to bed. Someone is wrong on the internet.
Yes, someone is wrong on the internet. Yes, I know. No, so you know, but it's like so we put up the post out, and then you know we get, so one guy was like, well, there's no pork or lamb tails, so it's not real boerewors unless it's wagyu. It's wagyu.
It's wagyu.
Yes, so I made a little circle and said it's wagyu. It's wagyu, which is one of the reasons why I'm not diluting it. One, and then secondly, you know, we don't put the pork because we have some customers that don't eat pork, and that's why they don't take the hog casing ones. Not that, I mean, you know, although it's hog, it's an intestine, and we use natural casings. I don't like using the plastic stuff. Yeah, I don't. I bought that once. I tried it, and I'm like,
it's horrible.
I'm not eating this shit. But anyway, so and believe me, to work with the lamb casings is very hard.
You should watch him. It's snot. That's how you describe it. It's like snot. It just slips everywhere.
That is the bane, and I gotta make it tomorrow, so I'm very impressed about that. But anyway, so that's one thing. It's just, you know, the level of criticism we get on it's like people get so offended because this thing is not what they want it to be, and it's like, dude, you know, you just scroll past and don't buy it, man. You could just say, yeah, I don't think this is great, and you can leave, you know. But the people have to pound on you. So we had that on the boerewors one. We had the like, you know, and you know, like shield and spear ready for war.
That was pretty bad.
Like rough, and I'm like, dude, it's like I don't understand. Like I understand that you don't understand products and manufacturing. And the other thing I wanted to say before I forget is 99%, I would say, in my personal experience, so anecdotal, when you take a product and you try and make it healthier, quote unquote, generally they make it worse. And you know, like when they do the diet Cokes, it's like worse than Coke. You know, when they change a product and they either, you know, remove something or, you know, less sugar, you
less
know,
sodium,
sodium, whatever. They normally put other shit in there that makes it worse, and they water it down, and it's a cheap knockoff of the original. What we do is we actually take it and we improve the product. We make it better than the original and healthier, like a real genuine product. So the criticism is very surprising sometimes because you're like, dude, you understand that we've just taken, like we took boerewors and we made it better than boerewors. Literally. So, you know, the criticism, and then, you know, we did the same with the bangers, which you can grab out quick.
Yes.
Before
we move on to the bangers, the last thing I wanted to mention about the boerewors is another interesting fact, which we have learned over the years, is most of the meats in South Africa, and this is not going to be everybody, do not quote me, but a lot of the guys buy, once again, from big manufacturers. You said spice mixes, use already pre-made products, a variety of some of those options, and that's actually what was shared as a comparison as this is the right product. And I read the label.
Well, this is the thing. So there's probably two, maybe three, but two well-known big spice companies.
Yeah.
And one of them, and I won't be surprised if the other one's got a finger in a pie here
You're
somewhere.
probably not wrong.
But one of them is running a quote unquote small family supplier here. Now they are not.
No.
That is a brand of that product, but
Yes.
they are very cleverly putting themselves out there as a small company that's just
They have a front man
Yes,
and
you know,
act as a family.
and we
but
thought
it's
in
not.
the beginning, we thought,
That's a
and-
lot of stuff out there out of
you know,
nowhere.
it's just I know what the kind of money is you got to put into this stuff, and it's
Yeah.
like you got to have a fair amount of cash if you just want to hit the market hard, because there's a lot of marketing and costs and stuff that go in and production, and you know, to build a building that you can manufacture in and to kit it out and to get it, well, not to build it, to rent it, to kit it out, that's like, I mean, you are at $250,000 just off the bat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, for that. So it's a fair investment that you got to make. And then these guys are just suddenly everywhere. And I stumbled upon the one manufacturer of spices, and I saw the name, and I'm like, hold on a second. So I went to their website, and I'm like, but this is exactly the same. So it's a brand
of that
of
manufacturer.
that spice and like manufacturer
It's a
in
little
South Africa.
disheartening.
Yes, because you think, oh,
I
well,
can't compete with Walmart, and
No.
that's what I'm doing right
yes,
now.
that's what
is
we're doing.
I'm
So
competing
anyway,
with Walmart.
you know, but so these guys pretend to be the small, and it's
100%.
their spice blend. And so this guy uses their spice blend as a comparison, and it says, I should actually let me pull it up. Let me just see quickly, because I want to read it so I don't make a mistake. I've got a screenshot of it. So it says, all right, in bold. So I'll show you. So that's kind of if you can see that's kind of the screenshot that I took. So it says in bold, not suitable for people with wheat, gluten, soy, egg, or milk allergies, because all of that is in there. And the main thing is, so it says beef and beef fat, or pork and pork fat. So it's not even telling you if it's
what it
beef
is.
and pork, or beef or pork, or ratio.
It doesn't tell you
you
what the meat is.
because it doesn't. The South African regulation doesn't require that. It just says 90% meat, preferably or traditionally or typically pork and beef.
Mhm.
That's what it says. All right. And then you've got sulfur dioxide, MSG, flavor enhancers, potassium chloride, sucrose, which is table sugar, you know, aerated spices, and you know, so there's nothing good in that. It's a commercial blend. That's the one we use, one that people ask us for. So I've only recently started because it was very much against my principles to do that. But you know, we lose sales because we don't have the one. So we've got one now that's called a Safari Dry Wash.
It is not my spices.
Oh.
It is not my liking.
And it is not very good. My kids said it tastes like a cracker, like a highly spiced cracker.
Like a cracker. So Lemon does say, Walmart, no one can compete with them. Don't bother trying. Your meat is better. There's this cardboard packaged as meat. What I mean is I'm comparing that. So it's like we are competing with Walmart, because
these guys pretend
are
they are not
under the disguise of
Yes.
being a small business, but they are not.
Yes,
And that's very frustrating.
yeah. And then what they do is, like, you'll put a post out and they'll drop their link under your post.
Yes.
You know.
Thankfully, there are some awesome people who run some of the different groups that we're
Yes,
part of,
and
and
they delete them.
they're watching, they're keeping track of these things, and I appreciate that. You know, I find that to be good integrity. And not gonna lie, the last person who reached out to me, he raised a couple notches in my book because of
Yes,
it. I was
yes.
surprised by it. Sensei does say, this is what we do. If you don't like it, you are welcome to purchase exactly what you want elsewhere. America.
Yes.
Dude, that's what we said.
No, so
That was my point.
So,
yes.
you know, but what happens is, like, you put the product out
Yes.
because you would like people. I mean, people constantly tell us, well, how are you marketing? Well, I put it on Facebook. But then you get the guys that
But I
jump
don't
on
see
you.
it.
Yes, well, also, but you get the guys that jump on you when you put it on Facebook, and it's like, well, do you understand that you are not our audience? Like, but there's 10 other people in this
You
group
see it.
that see it, that
Yeah.
is our audience.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not upset about all of the questions, because sometimes when we have people ask us those difficult
Yes.
questions, we're able to answer, and
Yes.
then others find out more about what we do. Did you see, we had a little bit of a string of answers, and one of our regular people saw the last one and added a like to it, and I had to chuckle because she probably didn't know those details about the meats and what we do.
Yes.
So that probably, let her know more about our products.
Yes, well, that's the nice thing is we get to explain.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, I'm not going to give my sausage formula to anybody.
No.
Okay? Secret. But you're criticizing something you have no details about.
No.
Like you have no idea what I've got, and then you compare me to some commercial spice blend.
Yes.
That's not. It's just crap that comes out of a factory.
Doesn't make that spice blend does not make that item. It doesn't have to be that spice to be that item. That's the other thing that people convolute is more. You can make your own spices. You can buy spices. You can do different meats. It's a very different
If
thing.
you use my spices to make your biltong,
yes,
it's not my biltong. It's still your biltong.
Yours.
You just use my spice blend. But if you use your own spice blend that you go Google on the internet and you do a mixture, that's still biltong. It doesn't mean because you didn't use my spice blend that it's not biltong. It's still biltong.
Yep.
And if you want to go make yourself, as long as you stay within the regulations, and I mean, I think, there's an old guard in place in a lot of things. I think for just as a stupid example, you have to have like X years as an artisan in X trade before you can become a master.
Yes.
That is protectionism.
Yes.
I think if you are good enough and you can make the test, you should be able to do it. If it's 2 years, if it's 5 years, but that's a very protectionist system. And I think with the boerewors thing, it's the same because they if I don't want to eat like what we call pop, so if I don't want to eat corn products, so now I can't eat boerewors because it must be in boerewors. It's like meat. No, and it should be meat. It shouldn't have corn in it.
I tell people all the time, we give you meat and spices. We don't give you anything else.
Yes, we give you meat and
WMD1, have a good day. He's out.
All right.
Cheers, all right, let me grab the next one.
Yes. So this one, we were right over the coals because it is
not
the British. Yes.
Okay. So you guys have seen us make these. We were live on stream when we actually put the first batch in the pan to see if they would be okay. They were phenomenal.
Yeah, that's like really good.
This is some damn good sausage. Yes. I gotta make coffee while you talk. I'm out.
Yes. So we sell this for $12.49 a pound. Okay. We were told that we are
expensive.
Very expensive because it should be 1/10 of the price. Now we pay $2 and some change. Bulk. So if I buy 40-pound boxes, we pay like $2 and some change. I can't remember, $2.50. Let's call it $2.50 a pound for the meat. So if I have to be 1/10 of the price, or 10% of the price, then that puts us at $1.20 a pound.
Yep. I'm not sure how.
Like, I don't know what you're putting in your meat, man. I don't know what's going in your sausage. But what I do know is I do not want to eat that sausage because I think. And then traditionally in bangers, like British bangers, there's a product called rusk. So rusk is like a dried biscuit. We have rusks, but they have a slightly different rusk. But it's called rusk, and it's like a almost a flavorless dried cookie biscuit.
Yeah. Like
a dried biscuit or dehydrated, And you break this thing up, and that goes in the banger as a binder.
Yes.
Now, again, the starch thing. So we don't use rusk in our bangers because we don't want the gluten and we don't want the flour, and So we've modified it a little and tested it, and it's great. And I never claimed it's a British banger. In fact, I was very clear in saying it's not a British banger. But it's still a banger because, that's the sound that the sausage makes when it's in the pan.
And it is a very similar pork banger flavor base. I mean,
yes, exactly. It's a very similar flavor base. And then we got just raked over the coals because, this is not British. And it was in the British group.
Yeah.
But, there are Brits. This is a funny thing. Like, celiacs is not... isolated to a specific population.
Or dietary choices.
Yes. Now the other thing, and Sensei is in the chat, so
Yes.
he can attest to this. You know, because a lot of times I get, well, why would, you know, which people, if you don't have celiacs, who would stay away from starch? Well, diabetics is a start. Like, you shouldn't be eating starches if you're diabetic. I know the ADA, you know, are
Oats
fucking,
in the morning.
Yeah, are fucking morons. They have no idea, you know, what a diabetic diet should look like. But, you know, if you take starches out of your diet as a diabetic, you almost solve diabetes, especially type 2 diabetes.
Yeah.
But don't fucking tell anybody, because then they can't sell you insulin, you know. Anyway, don't get me started on that. I just fucking get upset.
Sensei, I'll take Sensei's comments. How about this? Stuff costs money. Everyone is cash strapped. People are welcome to make their own and stop complaining. No such thing as food sovereignty. So, Sensei, on that note, there's no proof because comments have since been deleted, but I may have asked for this lovely person to let us know when their shop open.
Yes, yes. Yes, but he said he's so cheap. It's like, I can make it for
10%
of that. So we said, well, we look forward to your shop opening.
And don't forget to charge for your labor.
Yes, you know, because that's the thing. People make stuff at home and then they forget, you know, the $30 an hour you have to pay someone, because, you know, if someone actually knows what they're doing,
yeah,
with meat,
very
like $25 an hour, dude.
Skill.
And then, you know, we were just talking, like, the taxes we pay.
Don't get me started on that one.
Yes.
Oh, that hurts.
And we're small. Like, we have one part-time employee, and it's us, because it's so expensive. And Nicole was like, look at the taxes.
Because we had 3 paychecks in this last month because of how the weeks fell. That was a lot.
Anyway.
That was a lot.
People forget, you know, like, you have to add a massive amount to your salary just to make up the taxes and the social security shit and all of that. Anyway. That is not what the stream is about.
Dominion After Dark. Hello, good sir.
Yes, good.
How are you? Glad to have you in.
So we were very much raked over the coals about this, and I tried to explain. I said, look, you know, they are, and we call them soties. They are English guys that want bangers. Okay, that cannot eat starches. Now we have an alternative for them.
Yes.
Okay, I know it's not a traditional British banger. I understand that.
But we cannot even import traditional British bangers because it is illegal. So if you want that, you literally have to go to England.
Yes.
And
there are one or two companies here that make them. Okay. But they're still not 100%. They close. Yes. But we are offering one that is now gluten-free. Yes. Allergen-free. Like, we have 0 allergens on ours.
And we have direct competitor of the ones made in the States by a company. It's actually a very phenomenal company. If you guys were to purchase these bangers, dude, get them. They're good. Yes. It's just they have an item I cannot eat. So my kids have been eating bangers for years, and we haven't been able to eat them because of what's in it.
So I make them bangers, and then I cry because they get them, and I can't.
I can't eat them.
And then I eat biltong, and I look at them with long, droopy eyes. Yes. So now I can eat bangers.
Yes. Yes. No, it's actually kind of funny how that's worked out for quite some time now. But
let me switch this guy on.
Yes, please. Oh, we thought we would actually do our work today since we forgot yesterday and we were a little late and we had customers chasing us. Pies, which I absolutely love.
Yeah, we forgot to baste and bake our pies yesterday while on stream because we opened at 9 and we overran by like 20 minutes yesterday. Yeah. And then
customers came
as we finished up, like the car started pulling in and we're like, oh, we're in trouble today.
When we knew it, we were in trouble. It was awesome. Sensei does say, yes, we invite you to go to England, laugh out loud. You'll probably be eating a lot of bananas and rice.
Bananas
and rice. We don't only eat bananas and rice. Oh man, dude, that's awesome. Thank you.
Being Somali is like eating bananas and rice.
But we do more than eating bananas and rice, if I remember correctly, the statement. So those people, when they make things in their kitchen, also don't have the overhead of advertising and keeping the lights on. So you guys should really, if you break down a formula for costing, I have very high respect for my husband here because he considers everything. I forget about half the stuff, but no, he's got a formula that he developed. When was that? How long ago?
Oh, that was years ago.
Okay, quite some time ago. But it is to ensure that everything is taken into consideration. So it is not just the meats, the products, or even just labor, because there's other things that go into it. There's electricity, there's time. So biltong specifically requires a lot more electricity than other things. There's prep and cleanup. There's staff wages, overhead, rent. So the thing that makes me laugh with what we did with our move, we removed part of our overhead because we do not have rent any longer. The
that is how we managed to keep prices down.
So that's the thing. We never raised prices. A lot of, and I shouldn't harp on it, but man, it frustrates me is we have not gone up in prices. Anybody on this stream, please tell me what you have seen with prices lately in the last few months. I mean, gas has gone up. Everything's gone up. We have not gone up. So
no, and our prices on our Wagyu has gone up quite a bit.
Yes,
that's in our sausage.
We have experienced price increases on everything just like everybody else has. But because of the move, we've mitigated some of those
the only thing, we just put the dribbles up a little bit because of our meat on the dribbles jumped almost $2 a pound bottom end. That's dribbles and beef sausage.
Yes.
Jumped almost $2 a pound at the bottom end.
Yes. So I think Dominion is making sure to introduce himself to me.
Okay.
Dominion, I know who you are. And I know you always talk about my husband's meat.
Nicole is privy to the chats on Viva.
I laugh so hard. You really make my day with a lot of your comments. So continue on, good sir. Enjoy all the sausage that you must. And by the way, we are having a bride today. And did you see my post?
Yes, I did.
Did you see my last line?
I did not.
We may add some sausage, so it's an actual party.
I
couldn't help myself. I'm sorry, I am not always appropriate for all ages.
No, so
don't make me get out the Excel spreadsheet, Sensei. You know me. You know what I'm talking about, dude.
No, I think it's sometimes you shouldn't take the criticisms too personally, but it's very hard when you spend so much time and blood, sweat, and tears making stuff, and then it's like the pies. And I'll give you another example. This is something we make now. To make these things like the traditional South African way is a lot of work. We tried it. We know it's a lot of work. So we make them like this, which they actually come out very nice.
They look gorgeous when they're fresh baked. Oh my goodness.
But then people are like, well, why is it not in a little tray? Why is it not round?
It has to be pressed.
Why this? Why that? And it's like, well, in South Africa, we have this abundance of cheap labor, which you can basically, and I don't want to say exploit because I'm not a communist, but there's, you have a lot of access to cheap labor in South Africa.
Ingredients are expensive, labor is cheap. Here,
it's the inverse here.
Yeah.
Here you can like almost throw the ingredients away and still have the same costing. It's a very different model here, which was one of the first things I figured out when I started with business.
There's it right there.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. When I started with business here, it's like, this is a very different model to South Africa. But if you've never made anything or been in business here, then you won't know.
Yeah.
So but it's interesting. So sometimes you should just ignore the comments because the people literally have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Especially people who are not in manufacturing or even making stuff.
Or even in the same country.
Yes, or even in the same country. Well, this is the other thing, when someone phones you and they say, I've been eating chicken for years. Okay, so I am an expert on chicken. It's like, no, dude, you've eaten chicken from one place. All right, you've gotten chicken in your town at your little shop at one place for years. You know their chicken. You don't know chicken. It's very interesting. So yeah, I just thought we would share our experience on the criticisms this week, because it's been a few years now that we've had the ups and downs, and then we're making the big sausage rolls now because we were criticized about our normal sausage rolls. So I'm like, you know what, man? They were 4 inches. Now they 8. Okay, is that big enough for you?
I asked Anton, did I roll the meat long enough? Did I make it big enough?
Oh.
No, so thank you for saying that. Lemon actually asked what's in those pies. So I've got pepper steak here on this side. So it is a cubed steak mixture with a creamy peppery sauce. It's creamy, right?
Creamy pepper
and then
sauce.
the chicken pies in the middle, they are not chicken pot pies. We've had people think that. It is actually a creamy chicken pie. That's really nice. That's a newer one,
Yes.
newly developed. And then the sausage roll on the side there on the far left, that is our savory beef mixture. Now, you'll chuckle with sausage rolls. They are found literally everywhere else in the world but the States. Why is that? I do not know. I think it's everywhere the English touched and they won, not where they lost.
Yeah, but the Americans were like, what do the English eat? Okay, we will not eat any of that.
So in England, most of the sausage rolls are pork. Now, in I want to say it's Scotland, or was it Ireland? I think it was Scotland.
Yeah, I think Scotland.
There are beef sausage rolls. That is a thing. So it is not only pork sausage rolls in that vicinity. There are some beef ones. In Australia, beef.
I'm not sure about Australia.
I need my Australians and my New Zealanders to tell me what their meats are, but they all have sausage rolls down under. And then in South Africa, it is beef. Beef is what they like. Beef is what they eat. Chicken is a
vegetable.
You can't have vegetables in your sausage rolls. No.
So just as a matter of interest, we had a New Zealand company, big multinational company that used to buy our pies from us when we were in the city, as part of their meetings.
That's a New Zealand company.
Yes, and they had Australians and New Zealanders working for them, and they said that our pies are the closest to theirs that they have found.
That was a really neat company. Where was their CEO from?
He was from the Netherlands.
Yes.
Yeah, he was a Dutch man.
No, they were such a fascinating. We actually got to meet the whole leadership crew of that business.
We hosted their 1 year-end party.
Yes.
And I actually made them steaks.
And you taught them how to make biltong.
Yes, I taught them how to make biltong. I did a whole show and dance for them,
Really cool people is what I'm getting at. And to have that respect of these are the best pies they have found.
Yes.
I will take that for what it is. These guys have been everywhere. And the people that came to that gathering were all over the United States or all over the world. So they were everywhere.
It was very nice. It was cool. That was actually a big honor.
It was very personal.
Yes.
It was just
Anton that was just before we shut down the restaurant.
Yeah, we shut it down 8 months later.
Yes.
So we were still doing a lot.
But we had the table, so we served them. We made the food. Yeah. I made all the
kids were with us, so they found that kind of interesting. That three kids at the time and two.
Yeah,
it was really neat.
It was interesting. Yeah. That was pretty cool.
There are some very positive things that we experienced in the restaurant. Yes. So Lemon did say my business sucks. I give away most of my product. It's hard, but I think it's worth it to share in some respects as long as you're okay with it. But as Dominion gives feedback, you really got to make people pay, even if it's only a quarter. When people have to pay, they appreciate it more.
No, I agree.
Dominion, you are spot on. So, by the way, with that note, we like to give a giveaway.
Yes. Yes, we do. Yes, we'll do it tomorrow. So Cam was the last one. Yes. Dom.
So Dom, I don't know if you know, but we considered you our giveaway last week.
Yes, you were our giveaway last week.
Yes.
And then Cam was a week before. Yes. And then this week we still gotta do something for someone. So Nicole will pick somebody out of chat, and then because the requirement is you have to be in chat and you have to be active. You gotta yabber a little, and then Nicole will yes. Nicole will say, well, that dude, because where I sit, the screen is shiny, so I can't see anything in chat.
Yes, and I was using, of course, the phone, and when we're active and running around, I don't really have a choice because I can't even be close enough to this thing.
Yes.
Yes, A is Cult Gaming giveaway. We do say.
Yes.
That is correct.
Yes, you won salt.
Oh, this week's already done. Oops.
No, we'll pick another winner.
Why? That costs money, and they don't appreciate it. Dom said.
Yes. No, and we've recently had a few people reach out wanting samples, and I'm like, yeah, no, we don't do the samples.
Okay. I have a small pet peeve, and I don't know if I'm being ridiculous for this. When you go to a store, Walmart, great example. How many items do you take off the shelf and ask for a sample of? How many items? Why is it an expectation when you have a small business that you grab some random item off the shelf, not something we're like actively giving out, nothing? I want a sample of this before I buy it. Well, you can use it like this, you can use it like that. It's great in this, it's great in that, but I want a sample before I buy it. Okay. Whether it's online, whether it's in store, that is very hard on small businesses because samples do, as Dom said, not always come over or come across as value for the customer. Therefore, they may or may not appreciate it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But to have a sample ready of every single product is near impossible. We manufacture a lot of things. And when we manufacture, best practice is manufacture and pack. Because if you leave it out, what can happen?
Yeah, it goes off.
Would it go off? So we have to package it all up and get it out of the way. And that's for pests or just the product life itself, depending on what it is. And let's say bottling, you need to do it while the product's hot. Say like the chutneys, it's got to be at a certain temperature to safely bottle so that you actually sanitize everything. That's kind of part of the product integrity. But that is my biggest pet peeve is when I am asked continuously, sample this, sample that, sample, send me a sample on email. Because
whatever, we got customers coming.
No, just send me. I'm pointing to your computer.
Oh yeah.
Send me a sample on email, and that costs money. That there's a shipping cost that goes with it. And what size do I give you? Are you even going to value the sample I give you? Is it the right sample? Is it something you're going to like? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know these things. It's very hard. In person, I can get away with a lot. We do offer biltong samples to every single customer that comes in. We are starting to add into that the cabanossi because I find the cabanossi absolutely incredible. What would you say?
Yes, and then some spice, like the dry
spices. We're trying to add that into, but I don't have pork bangers. I don't have,
Yeah, I gotta cook them, So listen, everything. We are running on
up
on time.
I'm sorry. Here's me getting.
No, the customers are gonna come in. So finish up the comments there.
Okay.
All right, you read the comments. So remember, biltongusa.com. Buy some biltong. That's we don't make money out of this. We are not professional streamers. We are just a couple of people that sit and talk nonsense. So go buy biltong. That's how we make our living. Like, share, repost, follow. That helps us a lot.
Okay.
And comments help. Apparently, it's something
comments
algorithm.
Help the algorithm. Yes. Reposts, likes, and comments all help the algorithm. Just as an FYI.
So like the stuff and
so the comment that I see that's very stands out a lot is Lemon's comment. Nicole, that's not unreasonable at all. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually the one right below. Thank you, Lemon. Sensei does say, by the way, every time I've been to Anton's shop, he always gives me biltong samples or whatever he's just made, trying to trick me into buying something. I'm buying it anyway.
Actually, funny enough, half the time it's not to buy, it's just to share.
Yeah.
I get very excited when I made a new product. I'm like, I want to try this. This is cool stuff, and when I have stuff on the fire, I always share with everybody.
That's one of the benefits. Our awesome lady who works with us, by the way, she just had a grandbaby.
Oh, yeah.
So congratulations, new babies. She has been able to try pretty much everything in store, and I love it because she's able to share with our customers. Unfortunately, she doesn't always have the product to let people try, but she can describe it, she can relate it, she can help people understand what it is so that they can see if it's something that they would like. Sorry guys, you are fast on the typing today. We've got Bitch Mobile. I never asked for samples at the store. One day we'll have you in store. One day. Marcus, people that ask for samples and everything probably came from 31 flavors and want a bite. What? I don't know what that is. In my business, customers always ask for more service for free. Like, what you jumpstart my dead battery? Can you install a new alternator too?
Yes. While you're busy, while you're at it, I had automotive shops. I understand that one.
Yes.
And I want everything for free.
Yes. And Polish Dog does say, don't eat the inflated packages. Not every inflated package that is bad, okay?
So David, or not Dan's stuff took
a long
3 weeks to get delivered, and I am not positive UPS put that shit in the fridge.
I don't believe them for nothing. No way.
So I'm very impressed that like all of it wasn't spoiled.
Dude.
You know? But I got his home address now, so it'll go direct.
We will send to him next week.
I like it. Dan sends me an email, and what he starts with, he says, "It's me."
I really like his personality. He's very fun. Is that like dry?
Yes, it's me.
He doesn't even mean to.
I don't think so. I think it's just him, but I like it. Not hi Anton or hi
it's
team.
Me.
It's like, it's me. The Biltong was great. I didn't eat the inflated one. This is my address. Thanks. It's
really
me.
Cool. It is really cool. All right. Sensei does add, I am, of course, teasing. I know that you guys are just sharing your craft and fantastic products, and I am always appreciative. That's why I drive as far as I do to come see you guys as often as I can. We love when you guys stop in.
And sorry if I don't always respond to my phone and stuff. Half the time I see it and then it's gone.
Or we don't see it because hands in meat, no touching phones. That happens a lot.
Yeah, the last few days have been heavy on the meat, and today I'm back into it.
It's been a week. It's been a week. AS Call Gaming says, as business owners, I have a question. Based on this scenario, my brother has to go to Florida for his company over July 4th. They won't pay for a hotel room because it's $500 a night. I don't understand.
So where must he sleep? In his car? I mean, if the company asks you to go, so I have a principle, all right, and this is me. If you drive on company time, you drive a company car.
Yeah.
Okay. If you have to go do something on company time, then you drive a company car. You take my vehicle. Okay. If you don't want to take my vehicle and you want to take your vehicle, then I have to compensate you for the use. Okay, because you are putting wear and tear and using your gas. And this is from South Africa. This is how it works.
We did have that logistics with vehicles.
Yes. So I had a work vehicle, and if you go do stuff, there's the car. You fill in a little logbook, so I know who drove it. So if anything happens, and off you go. And it's my car, and it's my insurance, because the problem is not you driving. The problem is what happens when you get into an accident and you've got stuff of mine in your vehicle, and the insurance, your insurance figures out, well, you drove for a business on your time. Are they going to pay you? So I don't want you to lose anything. So you drive. If I send you somewhere to go get stuff for me, and you have to sleep over, I have to pay for your accommodation. And, big companies, when they deliver to you, like companies with semis, like we've had that. So if we get a container delivered, we have a certain amount of time to offload it.
Yes.
Okay. And it's like included in the price, the first like hour or 2 hours or something. Yeah. All right. Any hour after that's charged at like 150 or something, whatever. Yep. If you take longer than a certain amount of time,
it's like 6 hours.
Like 6 hours. Okay. The truck cannot leave.
Truck stays overnight.
Truck stays overnight.
You pay.
You pay for the hotel.
Yes.
And I think it was $300.
It was interesting.
It was, yes. So they charge you $300.
Not that we've done this. We got the costing of it, and we're like, oh, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, we will offload it.
Yeah, we will. We will offload it. We won't stick it anywhere, and we will pack it away at our leisure.
So companies that charge people for services give you the breakdown, and they charge you. In my opinion, if you want someone to try, that's like, well, you got to go to, like, we're in Texas, so I got an employee that has to go to Washington, to DC. Like, you got to go to Maryland to go do something for me, but I'm not paying for your transport, but you must do it. Like, what is that? I don't know. Like, no, you can't do that. You want someone to travel, you pay for it. No. You as a company. That's like, that's just, like, it's stupid. And that shouldn't even be a debate.
Don't forget, you can always reference your employment contract as to what the demands and expectations are. So just as an FYI, that's normally the HR side of things, is they'll reference the employment contract. As long as you didn't sign saying that you agreed to do those types of things, they cannot have you do that. And you can literally say no. You should be able to have a...
Yeah, but there's also like, just like basic law.
You should be able to...
Yes.
Speak.
No, but there's basic law as well, which the company cannot expect you to. And I mean, I'm sure you can go look this up, but a company cannot expect you to incur unreasonable costs for them.
No.
Like, that's not a thing. No. It's like, no, unless they give him shares. No, like, no.
All right, we are going to have to end the note on no, because that is an answer around here. No is an answer. Let me see who I can raid. I'll check it out real quick.
Get to raid, and then remember to like, share, repost, follow. I gotta
Yeah.
remember the Rumble lingo. And
And
then we'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow I might actually make breakfast or something.
ooh, that sounds nice. Would you like to join the daily intel brief?
Who's that?
Ben Dyke.
Yeah, hit him. Hit Ben.
Hit Ben. I like Ben.
Yeah, check out
Ben's
Ben
an
Dykes.
awesome-
He's a cool guy. He's got a
awesome
Rumble
guy.
channel. He's big on YouTube, but let's support him on Rumble. I like Rumble.
We'll flow some people into Ben Dykes, raise his Rumble views.
All right, then we will see you guys tomorrow. Have an awesome Saturday.
And yay, breakfast. I love it, Bitch Mobile. Awesome.
Yes, I think I'll make some breakfast tomorrow.
That sounds great. That sounds great. I think we should. Have a productive day, peeps. Yes, Lemon. Have a productive day. Have a great day. Enjoy your Saturday. Stay dry if you're in our area. Apparently, that's going to be a problem. All right.